Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at Epitaph, Sevagoth's new signature weapon that dropped with Call of Tempestarii yesterday. Now this is a very strong secondary that sets a couple of precedents with 48% crit chance. We've never seen this on a pistol before, as well as a pretty decent critical multiplier 2.6. You can pick up this weapon from Void Storms. It kind of functions like a pocket Lanka when I was testing, so let's try it out. Another unique trait of this weapon is you get extra bonus headshot damage when Sevagoth is the one using it. So let's take a look at the build. Well, I was fiddling around a little bit with it, and this is what I initially settled on. First we have Hornet Strike like usual, then we have Creeping Bullseye. Now the reason why I ran this instead of Prime Pistol Gambit was because of Hemorrhage. Hemorrhage has double effect when you're below 2.5 fire rate. On charged weapons, this breakpoint is at about 0.4. Unfortunately, this isn't a rifle, so I can't use Valid Precision in the X list to slightly drop the fire rate, so instead the next best choice is just to slot on Creeping Bullseye. Then we have Prime Target Cracker as usual to increase our critical damage since you have force crits, Magnum Force since it's not that affected by the minus accuracy, and then we have our Multi-Shot and our Smite. Finally, our last mod was Sharpen Bullets to increase the damage of our crits as well as slash procs further after the first kill. Now you may be wondering why I didn't build for Viral instead. Well, this is because the weapon only has 4% status chance. Now this isn't all of it, just keep watching, you'll find out later, but this is initially what I thought first. With 4% chance, you shouldn't be able to proc it consistently, which means you won't be able to benefit from it and it would just be a loss of damage. The weapon also does have an alt fire with an AoE effect that's used by not charging the shot fully, and we'll take a look at it later. So let's test this on the level 150 Corrupted Heavy Gunners. As a crit weapon, you should be aiming at the head to get the most out of your crits, and it increases your slash DOTs as well. Remember that we do have a passive boosting our headshots, so I'm going to keep track of the crits as well as the slash DOTs here, so that we can figure out how much extra damage exactly are we getting from this. I'm killing off the Corrupted Heavy Gunners with a single slash proc to the head. It's doing about 82,000 on the slash DOT, or say 162 or higher if more than one proc at once. So let's try this again with a Volt. This way we can tell the offset between the signature passive proccing or not. Yep, I'm doing less damage on those crits, and it seems like my slash procs are dropping down into the 70Ks instead. So there is a difference here. It seems to be about 20%, and it's a final headshot multiplier applied after everything else. The weapon also has a lot of punch through, pretty much being able to shoot through any enemy as well as small obstacles like grates. I shot through all of their heads here, and they're all getting hit and dying from the slash DOT. As I said earlier, this weapon has two firing modes. The charge shot that we've been showing you has no AoE effect on it at all and doesn't have any stagger. However, if you shoot an uncharged shot, it creates this massive AoE instead that can knock you down if you're too close to it. The stagger does seem pretty short range though. As you can see when I shoot down at the ground here, the effects are still definitely going way past me, but not only am I no longer getting knocked down, I'm not even getting staggered. So let's try this on the heavy gunners. Well, I'm gonna shoot on the left there. Okay, they all got procced. Wait, even the ones on the right got procced. Okay, so if I shoot this in the middle, it apparently has a massive radius, so that's really nice. Wait, these enemies have blast status on them. Okay, so the weapon is listed as a chilling type of pistol, so I'd expect it to have a force cold proc. Cold damage isn't even listed in the arsenal here, so I guess it's just an innate. But the blast damage is actual damage, and there's no note of it in the description to be causing blast procs. So I have a feeling the crit chance and status listed are only for the main charge shot fire and not the alt fire. Let's try modding on Viral instead. Maybe we can proc Viral in the AoE. So I'm dropping Magnum Force and Sharpen Bullets, and now we can see that both the alt fire and regular mode have Viral on it. Will it proc? And yes, it does. So now we have a tool that can do AoE viral procs, and it seems like it can proc more than once. If I shoot the enemy with alt fire directly, it seems like it has two instances of damage for the proc itself. So if I have more than 2 viral procs, it looks like my bleed tick is already way past 100,000, meaning I'm completely outdamaging my original. See, there, that one had only 1 viral proc, and it did 80 something thousand, pretty much equal to original setup. yet now you have the potential for a higher scaling due to the viral procs if you stack a bunch of uncharged shots on tankier enemies. The only issue I have with this weapon is it doesn't really seem able to take care of groups of enemies that well, since although you can proc the viral, the charged shots are a single target even with punch through. It has no AoE whatsoever and is kind of slow to fire. So now we know the status chance and crit chance are very misleading in the arsenal and only apply to the charged shot. I feel like the uncharged is probably flip-flop, pretty much guaranteed status procs and can't crit for shit. Now I know what you're thinking, and with how this channel is. With a crit chance that high on a single fire weapon with good stats, how does it fare on Eidolons? Well, I'm thinking the same thing as you. So let's take a look. The first thing you'll notice is this build has much higher fire rate, and that's because, well, you want to be able to shoot as fast as possible in case you need to make recovery shots. Eidolons are also status immune, which means hemorrhage is obviously useless here, so I also have no reason to use creeping bullseye. We're running just primed heated charge since we're getting radiation from Chalk Trooper. This way we save mod slots by not having to equip convulsion. Then you have your standard crit mods, and you'll see it pushes it all the way up to 137% crit chance. Now I'm actually choosing to slot hydraulic crosshairs on here for a very important reason. This is one of those weapons that has such sky high crit chance, modded crit chance matters more than Covenant. If you use Covenant on this, you only get up to 187, which is not guaranteed oranges. However, with hydraulic crosshairs proc, you actually shoot all the way up to 202%, meaning you have guaranteed oranges all the time. This reliability means I'd rather just be able to proc this on demand so that I don't have to bet on RNG yellow crits. Say like if you hit all yellows, maybe the limb will fail to break and I don't want to risk that. And finally our multi-shot mods with lethal torrent slightly cutting down on the charge rate. So let's take a look at the Volt build. Well, because of how strong this weapon is, I'm just going to use my normal sniper setup. I have sprint boost on here for the extra flight speed, which is actually perfect for this test, because it's calibrated against a 0 CP Terrorless with also 0 CP in the Simulacrum. I have the standard 243 strength as well as a vigorous swap. For arcanes, we're going to be running Arcane Precision and Arcane Velocity. Now you may be wondering why I'm running a rank 4 Precision. That's because a rank 5 lasts for 18 seconds and is not refreshable. And 6-axe limbs are only 17 seconds long, so I do want to be able to refresh it as needed. For a companion, we're going to take the Worm Sentinel. I'm going to take a look at the Sweeper first. We're modding it with Vigilante sets. Armament, offense, supplies, and fervor, so that I have a chance of increasing the crit tier on my Rubico, as that's what I'll be using to take water limps since Epitaph is a projectile. Now we take a look at our worm build. I'm running Negate and Primed Regen as the two most important mods to keep it alive and block any status effects, including Vom knockdowns, which are quite prevalent. For my Rubico, I'm gonna mod it like this. It's a very standard Volt DPS setup where I only have Hellfire since Shock Trooper makes radiation. This lets me slot on Vile Acceleration so I can shoot faster. We're also going to bring Sarpa since it's a meme run, while I bring this on all my normal runs, but we'll be using this to strip the base armor off the Eidolon as low as possible without taking all of it off. This way we can increase our damage further on radiation. I'm also slotting on Primed Fury, Gladiator Vice, and Quickening to increase the attack speed so we can strip armor faster. Modus Impact so that I have anti-aerial knockdown resistance, Amalgam Organ Shatter so that my heavy windup is faster if I hit it by mistake, and Tech Gravity if I do need to suck bombs in for some weird reason. I also have my Ribbon for extra attack speed, but this really isn't needed. If I'm on the DPS roll, obviously I should be on the Inaru Focus School for a Whisk to buff my VS teammates, so I'm going to swap that. And now let's test this out. So these are my 110 Draco Manic Bombards. I'm going to place my shield, shoot the head to proc precision. Wait, I need hydraulic crosshairs too. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to shoot the thigh. And that's a one-shot. That's another one-shot. And there was even a red there. Okay, so reds can't kill them outright. But if I hit 2 oranges, they're pretty much dead. And, well, hydraulic crosshairs expired there. So with hydraulic crosshairs, I'm above 200% crit chance, which means I will always hit oranges. 2 bullets are enough to take them off, which means in a solo run on a Terrorless, it would also take it off. This means there's going to be 0 problems handling it in a 4-man run. That about sums up my look at the Epitaph today. I hope you liked what you saw. If this is your first time watching, feel free to leave a like, or better yet subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. 74.8% of you are not subscribed. I'm making sure to cover as much of the Tempestarii content as I can as fast as possible. You want to stay tuned if you don't want to miss out. That'll be it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and see you all next time.